Okay, we're going to give this a shot this week. So welcome to Sprite Castle. As you know, this is the video accompaniment to the audio version of Sprite Castle, which is a podcast about playing Commodore 64 games. But every other week, I only do the podcast every other week. And so when I do the podcast, I record a video of that same game and I upload the footage. But this is an off week. I'm actually doing You Don't Know Flack this week. And so I decided to try something a little different on the channel and upload something or play something that I will never review on Sprite Castle. And that is a game for the IBM PC. In this week's game, I'm going to play Epyx Rogue. Rogue is one of the first games I ever played on a home computer. Rogue was, created in 1980. It started out on mainframes and Unix systems and found its way to the home market before long. And so it was, I definitely know that the version that I used to play is copyright 1984. This is a release of Rogue that was just released to Steam a couple of weeks ago. And this is the version that was purchased by Epyx and released that you could buy in stores. And so this one was released in 1985. Now I'm going to try this. What's going to be interesting is that I have all my hotkeys in OBS mapped to my number pad, which is also how you play Rogue. So we'll see if this works. I think this should work here. If you've never played Rogue or seen Rogue, you're going to say, boy, this looks like a very simple random game. And it is very simple. The way that it's presented with ASCII, color ASCII characters. That's us, the little happy face guy there. Let me move around here for a minute and just make sure. Yeah, okay, so this is... Okay, this looks like it's going to work. It's not picking up those keys because I've got numlock off, so I think I should be okay. The goal of Rogue is to travel down 26 dungeon levels and find an amulet and then find your way out. I will give you a spoiler. I've been playing this game since 1984 and I've never beat it. I've never once found the amulet. I've never made it that far. It is a very fun game, but it's also frustrating. It's also random. When I set up DOSBox on a new machine, this is the first game that I always play, period. I always fire up Rogue. You can't see it behind me right now, but I have a 486 PC set up with one game on it. And it's not that I really dedicated a machine to play Rogue. It's just that's the only thing that I have on it so far. But Rogue, like I said, was just released on Steam 2 weeks ago, and it's selling for $3. So $3 is worth the convenience for me rather than having to set up DOSBox, every time I reload a machine or do something else. Now it's right there in my Steam library, and I can just add it. So you will find lots of monsters. We're going to encounter lots of monsters, lots of magic items and scrolls and potions and all kinds of things. You will also have to use your imagination. So I'm going to play a round of Rogue, and I'm going to play very slowly and explain what's going on. To give you an idea of the keys that are required to play Rogue, I believe if I hit F1, it will show us. These are all the keys. You can see there are different keys here for eating food and drinking potions. And they try to use letters that correspond with things like E is eat and Q is quaff a potion. S is search for traps or hidden doors, which we'll be doing a lot of. There are a lot that are easy to confuse, like W. Lowercase w is wield a weapon, and uppercase W is wear armor. So there's a lot of overlap here. We have to hit spacebar to go into number 2. Oh, I should show you this right before we get started. This game has a built-in called a supervisor key, which is fake DOS. It is the exclamation mark. And so the idea for that is if you were playing this at work and I have to get my exclamation mark here, and oh, here comes my boss. Oh, hey, boss. I'm just sitting here at a DOS prompt. I'm getting ready to do some important work. Oh, the boss is gone. Oh, look, I was just doing some work here in DOS. Now you'll notice that every single thing is a bad command. Okay, the boss is gone. See you later. Oh, now I can't get out of it. How do I get out of boss mode? Oh, there we go. And I'm back to my game. I didn't lose my spot. So that would be, I guess that would be, as games started making their way to the IBM PC and PCs made their way into the workforce, that was a fun feature that they built in so you could hide your game from your boss. So to play Rogue, and I'm sure you've heard, if you're into gaming, you've heard of roguelike games. I played Sword of Fargo a long time ago, which is a roguelike game. There's all kinds of different roguelike games. This is Rogue. This is the original. There is actually an argument on Reddit whether or not Rogue is a roguelike game, because can you be like yourself? So what I'm doing is I'm walking through this hallway here, and we've come to a doorway, and I'm using the arrow keys or the number pad. So 8 is up, 4 and 6 are left and right, 2 is down. And we'll enter this room, and now what I can see over here is some gold. And so now every time that you move is when the game updates. So I could sit here forever. I could go eat. I could, leave for a week and come back and the game would be frozen right here. But watch, every time, like when I walk towards the gold, one step, and a kestrel, that is a kestrel represented by the letter K, he should move 2 spots. Yeah, see, kestrels are really fast. Everything else in the game only moves 1 spot at a time, but kestrels move 2. So now I've got some gold, and you can see up there at the top it says you found 19 gold pieces. And let me take a moment to explain what's going on down here at the bottom. We are on level 1 of the dungeon. I have 12 hit points, and you can see I have 12 out of 12 total. My strength is a 16 out of 16. We'll talk more about strength when I encounter rattlesnakes. I have 19 gold, and I have an armor class of 5. Now, it's kind of the opposite of Dungeons & Dragons. In Dungeons & Dragons, the lower your armor class is, the harder you are to hit. In this game, the higher your armor class is, the better off you are. Before I fight this kestrel, I could do I for inventory, and we can see what I have. I'm wearing some ringmail armor that's a +1. That's what you start with. I also have a mace, which is +1. I have a short bow, and I have arrows. I'm going to talk all about things in this game. I can tell you I never use the short bow. You could just throw arrows at people and darts and different things that we'll find. We're going to find all kinds of stuff. So here's the very first trick of Rogue. If I move forward, well, let me move back a spot. I move to the left, and notice he's catching up on me. So if I were to move right 1, I would move into him and he would attack me. So he would get the first shot on me. So I don't want to do that. So in Rogue, you can hit period to skip 1 cycle, or you can also hit S, which is searching for a hidden item, but there's not going to be any hidden items here. So I can just hit S, and the kestrel moves over a spot to me. Now we are side to side, and we can begin combat. Combat is very complicated, and I'm being very sarcastic. To fight the kestrel, to hit him, I'm going to move right arrow and run into him. You scored an excellent hit on the kestrel, and then it says more, which means spacebar. You have defeated the kestrel. So we killed the kestrel. Look at us. We're off to a great start here on Rogue. Now, I am moving manually 1 square at a time. I'm not going to be doing that later when I play a real round of Rogue, but this is our first round. Now, one of the things about Rogue is that you will eventually have to eat. You will get hungry, then you will get weak, and then you will start fainting. Eventually, you will die from starvation. So you're always on the search for food. That is one of the many things going on in Rogue. Because you have to, you use a little bit of food every time you move. You want to conserve your moves. So for example, as you can see on this map here, there's a doorway down there at the bottom. Now I could go down 3 spots and then over whatever that is, 15 spots. But if I go diagonal, I'm saving all those little spots, right? Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get here, I only went 3. I know it seems crazy that you want to save 6 spots in this, or 3 moves or whatever, but it's going to become important later on. So we found another room here. Now I will tell you that the first level of Rogue never has hidden doors, so we don't have to search for hidden doors yet. Shots will not hurt other players. yet. Now, this is an ice monster, and you notice he is sleeping. He has not seen me, and so I could just go around him and no big deal. But if something happens to wake him up, he's going to chase me down from behind. It's not going to be a good deal. So we're going to fight the ice monster. Again, I'm doing this very, very slowly this first round. You miss the ice monster. The ice monster swings and hits you. Now you can see my hit points have gone down by 1. I'm now 11 out of 12. You have injured the ice monster. You have defeated the ice monster. Now watch at the bottom right-hand corner down there where it says armor equals 5. Watch to the right of that. And achieve the rank of Guild Novice. So we have moved up our first level just by through 3 fights. Now my hit points are 17 out of 18. Now you do regenerate hit points through moves. So watch this. I'm just going to go left, 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 right, 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 right. Okay, and now I'm at 18 out of 18 where I was 17 out of 18. The higher level you are, the faster you regenerate hit points. If we get high enough, there will be a point where I regenerate hit points like every 2 or 3 moves. All right, there's some gold in this room. High scores are based by how much gold you have when you die. So it's not necessarily how far you get or how many levels you get. This room has some gold. That's armor, is what that little blue square is, and it has a bat. Now bats are a pain in the butt sometimes because they move in a random direction every time. So we're gonna, I don't hit the bat doesn't hit me. You don't hit the bat does hit me. You miss the bat because see the bat has moved. So I'm attacking diagonally. The bat scores an excellent hit on you. This is the slowest fight I've ever done because this is not the way I normally play Rogue. Bat scores an excellent hit. You hit the bat and you have defeated the bat. So what I want to do again to conserve moves, I'm going to go diagonal. Diagonal here. I have some ring mail. Now, I'm going to let you in on a big secret about Rogue. There are dozens and dozens of scrolls, potions, all kinds of things. And whenever sometimes you read them or you find them and you identify them, you don't know what they do. And people have figured that out over time. It wasn't necessarily in the instructions. You had to figure this out. Well, it turns out over the past 40 years, people have figured it out. And there's lots of things online. And then we're going to be using those things shortly. These are the stairs down to the next level, but we don't want to use those yet because there could be more important things. Oh, now look what happened up at the upper left. The frost bounces. The frost hits the ice monster. Oh, so there was an ice monster. He shot ice, but it bounced off the wall and he killed himself. And I moved up to apprentice level. So basically, he just gave us some free experience points. Usually what happens is ice monsters, when they hit you with ice, freeze you. Now, dungeons in Rogue, that's a hobgoblin, which is not a problem. I'm just seeing. So when I move to the right, he moves down. So you always want to make it to where you land side by side so that you'll get the first shot. So you swing and hit him. You have defeated a hobgoblin. Let's get the gold. Random. All the dungeons are generated randomly. So it's sometimes there are dead ends in the path. Let's go down here and fight this bat real quick. That's normally how I fight things. So at the most there will be 9 rooms. Now you can see in the bottom center there's the bottom center there is a doorway that goes over to the 9th room. Not all levels have 9 rooms, and you don't have to search every room, but there are things that we're looking for right now. We're looking for food. Now this is just ended in a dead end. Now, if I were on a higher level, I would use the S key to search for a hidden door, if you can hear me hit that. But right now I'm not very high level, and there's a low percentage, so I would do this. But I also know that this is level 1 and there are no hidden doors on level 1. This is the only level that doesn't have hidden doors. There's an ice monster. We beat that guy. Now we're a journeyman. Look at that. Look at us moving up. And now we will hit, by the way, this is the original, it's like this too, but in the Steam version and the original, only the left shift key is recognized. I don't know why. But if we hit the greater than sign, you will see nothing happens. But if you hit shift or greater than, we go to level 2. Now we have appeared right next to a kestrel, so let's fight this kestrel. And look at our hit points. We're up to 31 hit points. Oh no. So let me tell you what just happened, which is bad because I wanted to get that food. I fell into a trap and I fell to level 3. So I just missed a whole dungeon, which is not good because I could have leveled up and built up a lot of stuff and also found a lot of items. All right, now we have some chainmail armor. You can see if I look at my armor here, I have ring mail. I have some ring mail, the +1 that I'm wearing, and then I have this chainmail. Now, armor can be cursed. There's a lot to this game. So see how I'm wearing +1 ring mail? I could randomly put on this chainmail, but it might be like -3, which would be worse than what I'm actually wearing, and you can't take off cursed armor, which would screw up our entire game until you find a way to remove the curse. There's a lot to it. You'll see everything shortly. So this is a scroll, and this scroll is titled Jujit Vizvep. The scroll names are randomly generated every game, so this means nothing to us. There's a whole system. Let's go look at our inventory here real quick. We have a scroll. I don't have any potions. I don't have any rings. The scrolls that we're really looking for, there's a lot of different scrolls that do different things, but the one that we really want is an identify scroll. But we don't know what these scrolls do until we start reading them. So I'm going to hang on to this until I find something that hopefully I'll want to identify. So let's go here. We found a hobgoblin. We fought that guy. We got some gold. Now I could tell you, well, there's one door over here. So let's go over here. And you can hold down the buttons if you want to go more quickly. Got some different doors here to explore. Again, there would be a maximum of 9 rooms on a map, but that doesn't mean that there are 9. Now see, I had this kestrel sneak up behind me. Now this is a little bit confusing. See how the maze does that? Let's kill this bat. Go over here. What do we got? All right, so we found some gold. This is food, and we now have 2 rations of food. And we found the exit, but I don't want to take the exit yet because we want to go do some more exploring and see what else is on this level. Now this, I suspect is, I might go to a room. Yeah, this. So I'm hitting search and arrow keys and there's nothing. So it's just a dead end. After you play this game once or twice or for 25, 30 years, you start to get a feeling of whether things are going to lead to a hidden room or not. I hate these bats. They're just hard to hit. They don't do much damage, though. Okay, so we're just walking. I'm walking slowly because this is our first game of Rogue together. There is a wand or a staff right there. Now, again, it's a silver wand. We don't know what it does. It might be a wand of lighting that lights up dark rooms. It might be a wand of, zapping your opponents. It might be a wand of a cursed wand that lowers our strength. We just don't know what it does yet. So that's why we're looking for scrolls of identify. So you know what? Let's go ahead. Now, if I hit F1, we've got all these commands. I know every one of these commands. But if you look down on R, let's see if I can find where R is real quick. It's on the first column about halfway down. It says read paper, which means read a scroll. So I'm going to hit R. And it says, what do you want to read? Well, we only have one scroll, and it's item C right there. So we'll hit C. As you read the scroll, it vanishes. Your mace glows blue for a moment. What do you want to call it? Well, we're going to call it Magic Weapon. Now, my weapon just got a +1 added to it. So if I were to go look at inventory, remember my started off with a mace that was +1/+1. Now it's +1/+2. Now, let me show you a secret. And I'm going to see if this works out right. Let me hit. You know what? I'm going to do it with the mouse, which is not how I would normally do it, but let's do this. This is one of many wiki articles about Rogue that are online. And if we scroll up, well, this is the scroll section. And let's look right here at, so it said that my weapon glowed for a moment, right? And so right here it says your weapon glows blue for a moment, increases hit or damage bonus by 1. So this is what that scroll was, and it says enchant weapon. So, but it didn't tell us enchant weapon. It never gave us the actual name of that. You just as a player over years of playing would have to know that. And so I do know that, but I also know it because I've read a million of these sites over the years. Okay, so let's get the mouse back over here. Let's get back to our game. Let's find, I think I left myself up in this hallway here. So we're using the arrow keys. We're going to go down here. We know that there's probably going to be a room right there. Now this is a dark room that doesn't have any light. And so as you can see, I can only see the immediate dots around me. Now, when I was talking about conserving food, this is where dungeon design and playing this game and those sorts of things come into play. Now, let's find out. Okay, so this room is 3 dots deep. You see that? Now, I already know I don't need a doorway to the left because I can see how to get to that room to the left. And I don't need a doorway to the right. I've already been to that room over there. So I don't need to search for hidden doors on the left and right. Now, if you wanted to search this entire room, you might do this. You might go, okay, let's go all the way to the left. And then let's go all the way to the right. I found some food. Slime mold is food. And then let's search all the way to the left. And then let's search all the way. Oh, there's a hobgoblin hiding there. And all the way to the right. Okay, now we have searched that room. Let me see how wide this room is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 21 dots across times 3. So I just used 63 steps plus more, right? But in reality, when I came into this room, if you notice, when I found that it was only 3 high, all I really needed to do was search this middle row because I could see the whole room that way. So that's kind of that mentality about saving steps. I just used an awful lot of steps just to show that point. But yeah, that's looks like we've hit all the areas. That was a kind of a dead end there on the upper left. So we're going to move over here a little quickly and go down to level 4. Oh, I ran into a kestrel. Now, you have to be careful. You have to pay attention because just like that, I was just holding down the button and then all of a sudden I was, fighting a kestrel, and that's not what, I mean, that's okay for a kestrel. You don't want to do that to a troll later on because he'll wipe you out. So here we are again. We're searching. So I know that this room is 3 spots high, right? Now the problem is I got to find the doorways. So, okay, these are slime molds. So slime molds are not that hard to beat, or slime is not hard to beat, but there's a random chance that it could replicate itself. So we're fighting the slime. Okay, it wasn't any big deal. Oh, and now I'm starting to get hungry. If you look down on the bottom right down there, underneath my armor class and journeyman, it says hungry. We'll have to watch that, but the game will let us know. It won't sneak up on you, I promise. There's some gold pieces that we found, and of course we're just walking this bottom line here, and then we found the other doorway. Now, we know everything that was in the top, and we know the only thing that there's a little spot right there. But we just saved a lot of steps by not walking the entire room back and forth. Now there's an orc. Now notice how as I'm moving around, the orc is not moving. That's because the orcs will run to the nearest gold and sit on them. All the different creatures have in this whole game have unique characteristics. So I know he's sitting on gold. So let's fight this orc. And every time it says like the orc has injured you, I always look down at my hit points. Like I'm 25 out of 31. 17 gold. That was not worth it. Let's see what we got here. We got some gold. Now that little arrow is a weapon. So let's go take a look here. 15 darts. Of course, we'll hang on to those. Later on, as we collect enough things, we will hit our inventory limit, and then we'll have to start. Oh, now watch this slime mold. See, I'm fighting slime molds, and that one turned into 2. That's what slime does. So again, I don't need to hit that bottom level. Oh, there's an emu. Adventurer. Get some more hit points. There's some food. And I don't have to search the entire room. I know there can only ever be, an important key is F4. It says starting to feel weak. F4 repeats the last thing. So like it popped up there and I was still hitting the key and I missed what it said. So F4 will always repeat the last thing. There's a Kestrel. Let's wipe this guy out. Oh, he got my hit points down pretty low there. Now notice like it's 16. It's starting to move up. My hit points are building up a little bit more quickly. Now I feel like there's probably a hidden door here. So I'm going to hit S a few times. But doesn't seem to be anything there. So we'll go up here. Hobgoblin, let's wipe him out. Now, you feel very weak. You faint from lack of food. More. You can move again. You feel faint. You can move again. You feel weak. You can move again. That's a lot in a row. So definitely at that point, now that I'm fainting, and you can see down in the bottom right, it says faint. We definitely want to eat some of that food we found. So let's eat our slime mold. I think all the food is the same. I don't think slime molds are any more or less than regular rations. But let's go over here. That connects to there. Well, we do need to go here. There's an ice monster. So these guys, I mean, the first 4 or 5 levels are no big deal. Sometimes it's nice to die on level 1 or level 2 and you just get a bad game out of the way, you know. Everything in this game is random. The placement of the stairs is random. Okay, if that connects, if that goes up. So I know that goes to the room I've already been in. There was nothing down there. I've already seen this whole dungeon, so there's no sense in exploring that further. So we'll just go here. Excuse me, and move on to the next level. So now we're down on level 5. Within a few levels, we're going to start seeing aquators, I believe, and we have to watch out for those because what they do is they lower your armor class every time they hit you. And so what you want to do is take your armor off before you see those guys. Now, this is another example where I know this room is 2 height, so I'm not gaining anything by searching the top because we already know that. Okay. So we're wandering. There's a hop. Now, okay, now this is a great example. If I move down, then it's his turn and he will get the first hit on me. So what I can do is just hit S for search and he has to move. And so then when he does that, I get the first attack and I beat him. Haha. Little tricks to get you further in the game. Although I don't know, as someone who has never... Okay, now I'm hitting S. And again, there doesn't seem to be a hidden door there, so we'll go back. As someone who hasn't beaten the game, I don't know that I'm the most qualified to give advice, but I do enjoy this game. It's very mindless. It's a very fun game. I didn't see how much gold that was, so I can hit F4. Oh, it was 33. There are games that I've played over the years where you go, oh, that was a cheap death. You know, you feel like it was just random. And then there are games where you feel like you have control. This game leads more to the random cheap death than, I mean, there are games you'll play rounds of Rogue where you play the entire time, you never find any food and you die of starvation. There's nothing you can do. You're not going to win that round of Rogue. That's just how the cards fall, you know. By the way, when I play Rogue, my right hand is on the directional keys on the numpad. My left hand, my first finger is on the F key, as in Frank, or fast, which I'll be showing you in round 2 when I play the second round. And S, and my middle finger is on S for search. So that's kind of where my hands naturally rest. And then my left thumb is on the space bar. So my hand is kind of like that on S, F, and space bar because those are the keys that you most commonly use over here. So let's take out this bat. I have a second staff. Again, I don't know what those staffs do yet because I haven't. And this, oh, there's a Kestrel I just walked into. On this particular game of Rogue, I haven't found any good scrolls yet, and I need some identify scrolls. Yep, I don't have anything appropriate. Now, I figure there's probably a hidden room right here because of the way that this hallway is set up. So I'm going to start hitting the letter S. And notice all of a sudden this emu appears. He is standing in that doorway. So there was a hidden door there. There's a gray potion. Now potions, I'll just randomly drink. There aren't any. The worst potion Well, there's a few bad ones. Let's go to the... So on potions, I mean, the bad ones, we have confusion, which just makes you move in random directions. Hallucinations. I don't know that I've ever actually had that one. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my throat. And nothing to drink in here. And poison, which takes 1 to 3 of your strength away. And then there's 1 or 2 where blindness is really a pain in the butt because you can only see the dot that you're on. It's really, fortunately, it doesn't last too long in this version, but this says for 800 turns. It's no way it's that long. Then there's levitation, which means when you run into traps and things like that you'll just go over them. So, anyway, let's get back to the action. We have some gold here, but I will drink a potion because the odds are it's not going to be terrible. Now watch this be terrible. So I just hit Q and B. You feel stronger. What bulging muscles? Well, I can tell you I know this, but remember our strength all along was 16 out of 16, and now all of a sudden it's 17 out of 17. So this will increase your strength and your maximum potential strength. So that's a good potion to get. Get some gold. Now we got an orc here that's not moving, so I assume he's on gold, and he was. 15 gold pieces. There's a scroll called Sigma Kaido Knob. I don't know. The random generator in this is very strange. And we got some more food. So let's go read this scroll. B. As you read the scroll, it vanishes. Oh, and notice I've moved over an entire room. See how I jumped over to that middle room? That was obviously a scroll of teleportation. Now it says I'm less confused because when you teleport for a few moves, it may not go the direction you hit. So the next time I get one of those scrolls, it will say that was a scroll of teleportation. So I don't have to identify that one. Let's take out the slime, get some gold. Now we're on level 6, and things may start, the heat might start turning up. We're past. Now we hit this rattlesnake. Now I miss a rattlesnake. Now notice that my strength is 17 out of 17. The rattlesnake hits me. Okay, that's not too bad. You scored an excellent hit. The rattlesnake injured you. You feel a bite in your leg, and now you feel weaker. And now my strength has gone down to 16. So we're just going to keep fighting this stupid rattlesnake. Now look at my strength. It's 14 out of 17. Now your strength doesn't come back as you move. Only your hit points regenerate. And so... But let me see if I have it. I don't have anything to quaff, and I don't have anything to read. So for now, it is. So now I'll be doing less damage. Oh, there's a hobgoblin. There's a scroll titled 5 Dun Yuanes Lai and some leather armor. Leather armor is actually not very good hit point wise, but the Aquators, whenever they hit you, it makes your armor rust and it weakens it, but leather doesn't rust. So, let's read this next scroll. And it didn't do anything. So I just write blank. Like it just didn't do anything. I'm looking over here on the list and see if there's anything that's listed. Yeah, it doesn't really say anything for a blank one, so I don't think it. Just every now and then you find one that doesn't do anything. That's kind of a waste. Get some gold. I'm really doing the slow way of exploring. There's gold. There's a blue potion. Let's kill this slime. Let's just drink that potion because I'm daring today. You can't move. Hit space. You can move again. So that was a potion of paralysis. Now that potion and some of the bad potions you can throw at monsters. I am going to text my wife and ask her if she will bring me a glass of water. So that we don't have to stop this whole thing. Okay. Or else I'm just going to keep, the coughing is getting worse and worse. Okay. So, I'm stuck in a bear trap. Now that happened quickly, and so you're still trying to move, and I finally got it. So here's this little purple diamond. That is a trap. So we found a trap. Now notice when I moved up around the trap, that the wall up there appeared. That's how I know this room is only 2 rows high. And so, no need to search the rest of that room. Let's go over here. Jump, jump, jump. Okay, I'm going to search because I feel like there could be a hidden room, but I didn't find anything. There's a big section in the middle of this map that's not open. Now, I do see this other doorway over here, so we'll go over to that. And I hate when you run into maps like this because you end up spending a lot of food and moves to go to backtrack. And oh, now I'm hungry again. Got some gold. Use my little diagonal moves to just shave off just a few moves. Because as you can see, you know, every couple of levels, I'm going to have to eat food. And I haven't been finding much food. Here's another scroll. Now, where the identify scrolls come in handy for a lot of different things, but especially for rings. And I haven't seen. Oh, now this scroll is an identify scroll. What do you want to identify? So I have a silver wand. I have a manzanito staff. Let's identify that first wand, C. So I'm going to hit C. And it says it is a wand of fire with 7 charges. So now we know what that thing does. It shoots fire at monsters, and it's good for 7 uses. So we've searched the level. And we've gone up or down to level 7. So let's go around. We found, oh, and I found another scroll of identify. Now, I don't really care about that wand, to be totally honest with you, that other one that I found. Nope, now I'm weak. Well, I hate to do this right in the middle of this stream. This is unprofessional, but I am going to have to get something to drink. So, everybody, take 2 minutes, and I will be right back. Well, that was crazy. I may have to edit all that out. We'll see how bad that is. This is not stupid. All right. Found some gold. I've got a couple different things here. There's a hobgoblin. You ever tried to record something and then all of a sudden something goes really wrong, kind of ruins it? Me too. Oh, there's an orc. Pretty soon we should start running into leprechauns. Leprechauns, you get 1 shot. Oh, now I'm fainting from lack of food. Let's go ahead and eat one of our rations of food. Leprechauns, I'm searching now for a hidden room here. It seems like that's where a hidden room would be, but nothing came of that. If it looked like I teleported there for a second, I kind of did. And I will explain that on the next round of Rogue when I play the next one, which will actually go much faster than this one because I'm playing this in the slow mode for demonstration purposes. Let's go over here. Yeah, there's not enough room really there for a room. There could be, but So I feel like so this is a point where I would go, you know what? I feel like there's a room or two that I've missed up there. But I'm okay with that. It's not worth retracing all those steps. There's another rattlesnake. Let's get that guy to take some more of my strength. That's awesome. But again, Rogue is a big luck of the draw kind of thing, you know. Some games, I mean, I played a game last night where I found 4 of the exact same rings, which I've never had happen before. And then there are games like this one where I haven't found a single ring. I did just find a centaur. And remember, I just fell into a trap. So now I'm on level 9, and this is the second time this has happened this game. So now I'm on level 9, but basically my character is more like a level 7. There's another identify scroll. There's a, what was that? Oh, the dart. It was a flying dart, but it missed me. And aquators like to hide in the dark. There's a rattlesnake. Let's get my strength down even more. That's awesome. So, like I was saying before, a lot of times, you know, in video games, I mean, like if you think about classic games like, you know, Mario or things like that, when you die at the end, you go, it was me. I didn't make that jump, or I didn't time that right, and that mushroom guy got me, or whatever, you know. But in Rogue, oh, there's a ring. So let's do this. So first I have a pink potion. Let's just drink that. Quaff B. Now notice on the map, there's a highlighted O and there's a highlighted R. That's an orc and a rattlesnake. That was a scroll of monster detection. So the next time I find one of those, it'll tell me that. I also have a ring down here. Now, rings provide magic once you put them on, but there are a lot of cursed rings. So now I have a granite ring. So let's read one of my scrolls of identify. It's an identify scroll. I want to identify this granite ring. B. Aggravate monster. So what this does is it makes, as the minute I put this on, 2 things will happen. 1, every monster on the level will immediately come towards me. Number 2, that ring is cursed and you won't be able to take it off. So it will ruin the rest of your game if you were to put this ring on. So I'm going to go over here. Oh, notice, see that orc moving? I'm going to hit D for drop, and I'm going to get rid of that ring of aggregate monster. There is no use for that in this game. I'm hitting S. I'm not finding a lot of, oh, there we go. So notice I had to hit S about 10 times to find this door into this room. My strength is terrible this game. So the only thing in that secret room was a rattlesnake, which hurt me. Well, it's a good thing I found that room. All right. Again, this kind of looks like a place where a secret door would be, so I'm just hitting S. There it goes. So that took like 20 hits. So sometimes you just got to go off your intuition and think like, oh, you know, I feel like there's a zombie. Zombies aren't as bad as you would think. So going over here, we're going diagonally. We're going to kind of move a little faster. We're going to go to this door. There's that orc that was wandering around. Somewhere there's that rattlesnake that we saw with our magic scroll. Now, look at this. There's a doorway going down. So we know what room it goes to. And so if I hit S, nothing. 2, 3. So 3 times of hitting it, it found that secret door. This is a big room, so we're going to zoom across left and right. And then we found this. I'm going to talk more about that zoom or fast feature in the next round. But this is going so slow, it's killing me. Okay, so we searched this whole level. We got what we got. It's going to drop down to level 10. The problem is I'm getting to a point where there's an orc, there's gold. I'm going to be hitting monsters that I can't handle very shortly because I went too far down. I figured there was probably a hidden door there, so I was hitting S. There's a rattlesnake. Now there's a centaur and a leprechaun. So let's miss the centaur. The leprechaun misses you. Oh, so they're both fighting me. So here is a strategy. I'm now fighting two monsters at the same time, one to the right and one diagonal. I immediately want to retreat to this doorway here, because now only one at a time can hit me. Now, what leprechauns do, they don't do a lot of damage. When they hit you, they steal your gold and they disappear. Not all your gold, but a chunk of it. So, and I don't have a very good weapon. So he's obviously going to, and my armor is not great. So he's going to hit me and he's going to steal my gold. There's nothing I could do. Hey, you know what we could do? I'm going to hit Z for zap this direction. And we have a wand of fire. Let's just unload some fire on this leprechaun. Boom. The flame hits the leprechaun. You've defeated the leprechaun. All right. So now there's a rattlesnake. Let's take this guy out. Now let's look at my hit points. My hit points are 30 out of 43. Let's see if we can beat this centaur. Now, normally I wouldn't be too worried about a centaur because I would have upgraded my weapons and stuff, but there's a lot of monsters in this room. You hit the centaur, he hits you. So I lost 3 hit points. That's not too bad. You miss, he hits you. Now I'm at 23. Now I'm at 19. I'm at 15. Now I'm at 8. So I'm going to try to zap him also with the wand of fire. And I missed him. Killed by a centaur. Rest in peace, Flack. Oh, God. I hate this game. Why am I playing this game? I hate it so much. 2020. And then there's my tombstone. And you can see that I died with 1,063 gold pieces. I can hit enter. There's my current high scores right now. Just on, I just reloaded this from Steam. So then it says, you want to start a new game? No, we'll exit, or yes, we'll start a new game. So let's hit yes. Let's type in our name. And let's get started. Now, we're going to play Rogue like how I normally play Rogue. So get ready. I'm going to teach you a new button. It's called F for fast. If you hit F, so right now if I hit F and right, it will go until there is a choice to be made. So F, right, and it jumped there. I'm going to hit up and I'm going to hit right. Now I'm going to hit F and right again. Boom. And it goes to the end of this hallway. Because there was no decisions to be made. There was only one way to go. Down there, one way to go down, one way to keep going over, and now I found this doorway, right? So I can hit F up, get that gold, F over, get this potion. Let's just drink the potion to see what happens. It tastes great. It makes me feel warm all over. Well, I'm just going to write warm because that's short, but we go over to our little cheat sheet here. Potions. Warm all over restores your strength to maximum. So it's a restore strength. So it doesn't really do anything for us right now, but at least we've already figured out what this is. So now I can hit F up, go here, diagonal, kill that ice monster. Let's get this gold. Now, I forgot I'm on level 1 all of a sudden. Level 1, like I said, never has hidden items. Now there's a scroll. Now I don't want to read my scrolls yet because I don't have anything to identify. And the best scrolls, I mean, really are, I didn't see that bat over there. See how they run around? They're really annoying. What's going to be important for scrolls is identify. And also to increase my weapon and my armor. And I don't really need that yet. So this is how I play Rogue. So we have another potion. Let's read it. You feel stronger. What bulging muscles? And now I know that my strength is up to 17. There's really no other doorways that go anywhere. All right. Level 2. So when you're searching, okay, so that's warm. That's the one I called warm, which is warm all over. And that's increased strength. So I could just go ahead and quaff it now if I want. Oh, no, that was heal. That's heal my strength, so I just wasted that, but I'll know what it is. Orange potion, let's just drink it. You sense the presence of magic, and you see that dollar sign. I forget which is which, but that'll either be a I'm on a trap. That'll either be a scroll or a ring or something like that. There's a kestrel. So let me show you how fast mode works. So if I hit F and left, I go to the doorway because that's where I have a decision to make, left or right. If I hit F and right for fast mode, it's going to stop right there because now I am adjacent to an object, right? So that's how fast. So now you know why when I play this game, I have keep one finger on the fast mode, one on fast, one on search, and one on the space bar to get through the more messages. Nope, nothing there. Okay, there's a scroll. Again, I don't have anything I need to identify yet. So I'll just hang on to my scrolls for a minute. Nothing there. Kestrel. Some gold. Rogue is better if you add your own sound effects because there are no sound effects in Rogue. There are state-of-the-art graphics. Look at this Kestrel. Oh, they're all chasing me there. It's weird. There's a lot of this round where there seems like there should be hidden rooms. There's a bat. There's some gold. Ice monster. Gold. Slime. Some different versions of Rogue have different monsters. Slight variations. Okay, there's a spear. All right, so let's do this. Just so you can see, I'm going to hit T for throw. I'm going to hit left. I'm going to throw my spear at this guy. Ah! Right, killed an ice monster. Killed him with a spear. It's a fun visual. There's a pewter wand. You know what? So let's. So now, usually identify scrolls are the ones that you find multiples of early. It's not a hard and fast rule, but a lot of times there's a high probability of getting identify scrolls. So I'm going to read C. Nope, it made me fall asleep, which is a worthless scroll to have. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to drop the other scroll of sleep, and then I'm going to read this scroll. It's an identify scroll. Let's identify this wand I have. Magic missile. That could come in handy, although magic missiles aren't very strong in this game. Not very powerful. They don't do a lot of damage. Goes over there. There's a bat. This obviously connects down there. We've seen everything. And now I'm weak. Now the danger about wandering around when you're weak is you never know when you're going to start fainting. And you can start fainting when you're in the middle of a fight. And that's bad news. There's some banded mail armor. There's some food. It's always good to know where the stairs are. There's some more food. Okay, that's good. Two-handed sword. Two-handed sword is the best weapon you can have. Let's go over to this. And here's the armor and the armor classes. So it starts with leather, ring mail, studded, scale, chain, splint, banded, and plate mail. And I think I did find some banded mail. But again, any armor that you pick up could be magic. It could be cursed and have negative. And also any cursed item you can't get rid of until you find a scroll to get rid of curses. Or it could be plus. So it's always a gamble. Same thing with weapons, but there aren't very many cursed weapons. But as you can see, like a mace is a 2d4, a longsword is a 3d4, a two-handed sword is 4d4. It does a lot more damage, and it does more damage than anything else on the list. So if you find a two-handed sword, you definitely want to wield that. So let's go back over here. I'm going to hit W for wield an item, and I'm going to switch to my two-handed sword. Now, we don't really know if it's magic or not yet, but I could identify it, but I'm not going to. You You feel very weak and you have fainted. Well, it's time to eat one of our rations of food. Let's kill this guy. So as you can see, especially with the fast, there's also a mode, I believe if you hit scroll lock, you don't have to hit the F button every time. But man, I mean, I've been playing it like this since I was literally 10 years old, so it doesn't. I mean, it's just second nature, you know. Kill the ice monster. Get the gold. And, oops, go down a level. Ooh, fun little treasure room. Ring mail, a two-handed sword. I don't really need that sword. But I don't, because the game, when I play it fast like this, I don't go through and start dropping things until later. Also, there could be a part where your weapon gets disappears for some reason, or monster takes it, or you never know. So it's always good to have a spare. But eventually, I'll end up with 10 spares, and so at that point, it'll say you can't carry anything else. Why? I mean, that seems like there should be something that way. There's a big part of the map. Well, I guess that opens up that. There's some more food. Yeah, I guess there's nothing that way. So there could be something else up there. I'm going to search this to see if something. Yep, see that door open to the right? Rogue intuition, my friends. We played this on my PC Junior, which we got, I believe, in 1983. But, I mean, I don't think the version we had of Rogue came out until 1984. But there were free versions before the Epyx version came out. So I think Epyx must have bought the rights and then released it. But we had a version that did not say, almost looked like it spelled a naughty word there for a moment. So now I'm watching my hit points here. So I'm going to hit S and see how I'm letting some of these guys come to me. I don't want to rush into this room. I'm hungry, but I'm not weak yet. I don't want to rush in and get attacked from multiple sides. Now, this is what I would call a treasure room, and sometimes Rogue just generates these rooms that have a whole bunch of monsters and a whole bunch of treasure in them. 4 rations of food. There's a scroll. There's a dagger. There's a staff. There's a slime. There's a potion. And there's a rattlesnake, which I probably should have just thrown something at, but all right. So let's see what we've got here. I got a potion, a scroll, a wand. I have a staff that I don't know what it is. I really like to... Oh, but I already had an identify, so I know this isn't an identify scroll. So let's read this scroll. Read. A high-pitched humming noise. Now, let's go to the book. A high-pitched humming noise, which I can tell you what it is. High-pitched humming noise. This is aggravate monsters, which is the same as that ring. And it alerts all monsters on the map of your presence. So we want to call this aggravate monster. That's not how you spell aggravate. Yeah, I guess they're all dark. So what you could do, I'm going to sit on the exit, and I'm going to, now normally what I would, oh, my hit points are already up to 74. Okay. But what you could do is sit there and hold down the period, which passes, oh my gosh. I've left this on the screen. Oh no. Well, I just jumped forward a long time because I left that screen forward. Man. I just ruined my whole thing. Well, this has been Rogue. Man. What did I do? You know what happened is that I had it on that instead of that. stinks. Well, due to some technical difficulty, I had to jump forward, folks. Maybe I did that. Maybe I didn't. We'll see. Let's read this random scroll. Two-handed sword. Alright, so that's magic weapon. We are on level 14. I have more gold, I think, than I've had. There's an opal ring. Let's identify that. Read, identify. That, yep. Opal ring, and that is a ring of -1. We don't want that. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that thing. Man, I can't believe I just... So what happened is I left it on the... Or I hit the wrong screen. And so you've been missing the action. Quagga. Nymph. What did I pick up? I never had so many identify scrolls. There's a trap. It's a trap. That did not sound like Admiral Akbar. I don't know what that was. It's a trap. That was like that frog thing from the Mandalorian. Ring mail. Can I take off my armor? No, it's cursed. Yeah, things are going bad now. Now I'm dropping down levels through traps. And I've got the worst possible armor problem. Now I did. Did you see how I beat that thing? Oh, I can't carry anything else. I don't have anything to quaff. What do I got? Why do I have so much? Oh, it's because I got all that food. Ring mail, ring mail. I'm going to drop that other ring mail. Let's drop G. Gain strength. Found that. Yeti. Read D. Didn't seem to do anything. I'm just going to write vanish. Sometimes that's what happens. You entered the phantom. Oh. So phantoms are invisible. And they're really hard to beat. Well, that one wasn't too bad. I've got a great weapon right now. Dart hit you. Vanish. It just didn't do anything, so I'm just going to drop that. You know what? I'm going to get it because there are some scrolls that Nymph misses me. Yeah, all right. Sometimes, let's see, what can I drop here? Let's drop the short bow. And 5 scrolls of identify. Sometimes scrolls don't do anything because you have to have certain conditions on the level. Like, you know, like there's a potion for finding food. Oh, there's a Venus flytrap. So we're starting to get to bigger monsters here. If you wanted to see me die in Rogue, you have just a few minutes left to wait. Like, because what's going to happen is I'm going to get double teamed here. 14. So I'm gonna run a little bit just to rebuild some hit points up. There we go. Can't carry anything else. Can't carry anything else. Gosh. Got double teamed. Got a Wraith and a Troll. But I want you to look at that gold. That's my best game. That's the best one. Troll on level 16. So, I screwed up the stream a little bit. I apologize for that. I'm going to have to edit some stuff anyway. So, man, that is Rogue. I mean, Rogue is graphically one of the simplest games. There is a lot of strategy, but a lot of the strategy is dealing with random things. And so, I guess you could make a comparison to life, where you get random stuff and it's just how you deal with it. So, Next time, on an off week, I may play another DOS game. I don't know. I enjoyed taking a little break from Commodore stuff on the Sprite Castle random series on this off week. I will probably pick a game that doesn't require me to use the number keys, which obviously led to a small disaster this week. So anyway, be sure to check out all the stuff I have right up here. Podcast.robohair.com is where all my podcasts are. You can always email me at robohair@robohair.com. You can find me on Facebook /Robcast. That's where all my podcasts and stuff get posted. On Twitter, I'm very active at /Commodork. So you can come find me on Twitter. There is the Flack podcast hotline, which is 405-486-YDKF. And if you want to subscribe to a great podcast feed, go to, I don't have it written on there, so I just was giving a plug. But go check out the Amigos. They post all of their podcasts on this same channel on Amigos Retrogaming. And they have a master feed on Anchor FM that gets not only their podcast, but my podcast, Pixel Guide In, and the ARG guys. So lots of good stuff there. So thank them. I'd like to thank them like I'm winning an award. I'd like to thank all the people. Thank those guys, Aaron and Boat, for letting me host my stuff here on their YouTube channel. And thank you guys for watching. And be sure to check out You Don't Know Flack this week and a new Sprite Castle next week. Thanks a lot, and I will hopefully master this recording process for DOS games next week. Thanks, guys.